Jemele, what do you make of the last 8 days, not the last 2 days?
Well, and then to first address your question, you said you tried to characterize my relationship with Vice President Harris. I would say we're friendly. I wouldn't presume by calling her a friend, but we definitely know each other. We definitely have a personal, relationship. And so the last, to now get to your actual question, the last, sort of 2 weeks, it's just like been in bizarro world. I'll be very upfront. Like, I was of the opinion that Joe Biden shouldn't resign. Or at least quit the race. Let me be very clear about that. I was of that opinion. And frankly, I think it just shows the difference between the two parties. As I said before, that debate performance, I'm not trying to sit up here and justify that it was good. It clearly wasn't good. But you basically took one debate performance. And by the way, we've known Joe Biden is old, and they should especially know, because a lot of the people who suddenly came out and said, hey, we don't know if this guy has it, they've been in contact with him. They've been in close contact with him. They've seen him, in some cases, day in and day out. So it just occurred to you on this debate stage that Joe Biden is old. And my thing is for his own party to turn on him. And they did. They turned on him, and then they bullied him out of the race because they panicked over the debate performance. And I'm like, you have the more popular policies. You have a president whose entire administration will go down as one of the most accomplished of this generation. The guy who successfully brought you out of COVID. We have record low Black unemployment. We have all these things, good signs, good things that are going on with the economy. You have all these things that are in your favor. And you let 1 hour wipe away the last 4 years. And it just, to me, it showed sometimes why there are frustrated Democratic voters. It's like Donald Trump could have urinated on himself on that stage, and they would have called it the greatest presidential piss they've ever seen. The Republicans would never. All right. And you have the incumbent. And so just seeing, and even the media coverage, Dan, I was like, it wasn't just one old guy in this race. It's two old guys. Donald Trump is 3 years younger than Joe Biden. Donald Trump can't complete a sentence. Donald Trump gets names wrong all the time. Donald Trump goes on wild tangents about Hannibal Lecter and creating dome missiles like we're in some sci-fi movie made by Tom Cruise. All right. He does this literally all the time. He sounds incoherent, incompetent. But from the media coverage, you would swear there's only one guy whose cognitive abilities need to be questioned, because if we're going to open this door completely, we should open it all the way. And that was never done. So the fixation between the press, the Democrats panicking, I was like, what is all this happening? Nevertheless, from the rubble has emerged the fact that Kamala Harris, to me, is the candidate to put on the presidential ballot. She is the one. But yet, I don't get the sense that everybody in the Democratic Party is on board with this. I think the fundraising that we've seen for her in the last 24 hours, starting with, to be honest, a lot of Black women who got in formation and in the span of 100 minutes raised $1 million on a Zoom call I was invited to. And if not having to deal with something else, I would have been on the Win with Black Women phone call where they were talking about strategy.
Hold on a second.
Just a
second. Hold on.
Look at me, Louise.
Okay, I just wanted to say that, yes, you would have been on that call. I think that's a look at me, Louise, is it not? Like it's
yeah, look at me, Louise.
I mean, it is. It's okay. Continue. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That's what you're gonna do, Dan? Really?
I'm just saying.
I mean, it was a call for Black.
We know you're a powerful woman who can raise a lot of money in a moment, and we know that an army of people assembled yesterday showed a strength of Black power, and that you should have been there too. We know. You didn't have to tell us.
I mean, I had something else I had to deal with, so I wasn't on the call. But nevertheless, I believe deeply in Win with Black women. All right, it was 44,000 women on that call. Okay, 44,000. All right. I was clearly not the only quote unquote powerful Black woman who is in America, but nevertheless, in 100 minutes, Dan, they raised over $1 million. So everybody's getting information behind Kamala Harris. But there's always been all these reports about how the big money donors within the party don't necessarily want her on the ticket. And this wasn't just about Joe Biden getting off the ticket. It was also about her getting off the ticket. So anyway, this has been complete chaos. It's something unprecedented I've certainly never seen in my lifetime. And I just wonder at what point are Democrats really going to show some spine and show some unity to achieve what I think most of us want to see happen, which is to defeat somebody who plans to usher in that playbook that you sort of illustrated to people, because a lot of people still don't know about Project 2025. I think that's the number one goal. The question is, like, we're 4.5 months out, so now it's already like it's time to cut the nonsense and get to a universal, widely supported candidate and put this train back on the right track.
Jemele, I do believe that we have not arrived yet, you and I, in a space where I'm okay with any idea of it being normal. That I just asked you about the last 8 days, and the assassination attempt isn't something that was within the last 8 days of what it is.
Was that in the 8 days?
No, but I'm saying I'm not even blaming you. I just think that we're making new things normal in a way that just it can't be. Like, people are going to get worn out the next 5 months. Like, it's going to test a lot of sanity.
Well, I think that's part of the reason why we're having so many of these conversations, because people are worn out. Is that, position in his administration won't be there now. And some of those people, while I certainly detest many of them in their beliefs and methodology, they at least did kind of believe in that government needs to run a certain way, that there needs to be governance overall. This time around, if Trump is elected, he will not have those same safety guards in place. Those guardrails will not be there. So literally, if it comes in here and it comes out of here, it's going to be legislation, particularly since he has the Supreme Court, that's his Supreme Court, and he is possibly going to get 2 more appointments. So there's really nothing to stop him from going straight into the path of dictatorship. And I think we just have this very naive idea in our mind that somehow some system, some person is going to come with a cape on and save us from ourselves and save us from our own apathy. And it's like, no, we have to be the heroes in our own story. We have to save ourselves. If we do not save ourselves, there are no systems in place that are going to prevent the most dastardly and extreme outcomes from happening. I'm not saying that to be alarmist. I'm saying that to be real. And, my fear with putting Kamala Harris on the ballot this close out to the election is that energy that we just saw from the media directed at Joe Biden about his health, his cognitive ability, it will be about different topics, but all that energy is going to shift to Kamala Harris. To your point, we've reached the point in the plot where there is literally nothing depraved that Trump could do at this point to get that same coverage of media attention. It just says everything to me about our politics, that the president that has accomplished all these things could not be the convicted felon, could not be somebody who is credibly found liable for rape, could not be someone who has been accused of raping a teenage girl, could not beat somebody who had tried to overthrow the government, could not beat somebody who called for his own, who was happy if his own vice president, when he was president, would be hanged. Like, none of these things have been disqualifying factors. To your point, we've not only normalized the type of candidate that Trump is, which is one of the most, if not the most incompetent in history and unqualified in history. We've not only normalized that, but our reaction, to me, is what's most dangerous about it, is that it doesn't even move the meter for us anymore. And that is scary.
Jemele, I think we can agree that Trump becoming president the first time was in response to a black man being president for 8 years, correct?
Yeah, I think that is absolutely correct.
So let's say that Kamala does become president of the United States, given that what we saw on January 6th. What do you think would be the reaction from the American public once that happens?
Well, before, many people that are, far more expert at these things than I am have suggested this already, is that before she can even get to the ballot, there is an expectation, or at least a fear or concern, however you want to label it, that Republicans will challenge Joe Biden being off the ballot. They want him on the ballot. So they're going to challenge her even being there, right? So to even run for president. So I expect there's going to be a whole lot of legal nonsense that happens before, if Kamala is the chosen candidate, before she can even get there. And my hope is that the Democrats have anticipated that. But to your point, let's just say that she is elected. If Donald Trump was their first response, I hate to see what their second one is, because the reality is that I guess maybe I've lived here too long. Maybe I've been Black too long. Maybe I've been in America too long. Any of those combinations of things. It is just in my mind, as of this moment, hard for me to compute this country actually electing a Black woman as president. But even if I want to take myself that far and have hope that that can happen, because certainly there are a lot more older Black people than me who have seen way more than I have that could never have imagined Barack Obama. But let's just say that that happens. This isn't going to be a signal for conservatives or the Republicans or the far right or however you want to label them to then say, maybe we should perhaps get this stench of Donald Trump officially out of our party. This is not going to be some watershed moment. This is not going to be some soul searching that happens. This is going to be them digging harder, more extreme into the things that they already do. So the response is coming. And at every point in history, we have seen that whenever there is tremendous progress that has a hope of America actually living up to what's in the brochure, the backlash and the intensity of it is so fierce and so unrelenting that it doesn't undo the progress or the direction, but it makes it even harder for that progress to be seen fully through.
You don't need my help to articulate these things, but if I were to condense your viewpoints here, can it be said that in a panic, the Democrats, is this an oversimplification to say that in a panic, the Democrats have now thrown a Black woman toward the racist, sexist party, and that's not a winning position?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, and I want people to understand this. This is no reflection of what I think VP Harris's abilities are. I think she's fully capable of being president, and not just a president, a great president. Not only does she have the resume that supports that, I think she has the demeanor. I think she understands things. She's very in-depth and astute about foreign policy and all those things that most Americans are concerned about. Like, I have no doubt that the country would be in good hands. I guess my opinion about whether or not this will work is based off my opinion about where we are in America. It is more about how I feel about where this country is in this moment, more so than how I feel about her. And I guess part of me is already bracing and for all of the racist and misogynistic narratives that are about to suddenly come to light. I've seen them already. I won't repeat any of them because I don't want to give that kind of stuff life. But the shift is about to happen where they are going to analyze, as they should for a lot of presidential candidates or any presidential candidate. They're going to analyze everything she's done since kindergarten, everything she's done. I'll go back even further, since she left the womb. And some of those narratives and some of those tropes are going to remind me about probably the worst elements about what this political cycle tends to bring out. I've spent time with her. Like, she's a lovely person, and she's genuine, and she's real, and she's funny. I mean, you can call me biased if you want, but no, I will not forget the fact that while running for a presidential campaign, she texted me on my wedding day to wish me and my husband good luck and to say that, like, hey, I believe in you guys. It was
That's
a very
a spot
positive
for it.
message.
Come on. That can't go unchecked.
I can't tell you.
No. Contextually, you might have thought you were covered, but that was just some extra sauce on it, and you had to be called out.
You know what? Y'all won't let me be great. Y'all won't let me live.
Almost quite
I'm just
literally
trying to add
icing on the
content
cake
to the program. That's what you have me on for. I'm giving you content.
Do you know how pissed we're going to be?
Y'all people every time.
Do you know how pissed we're going to be if meteorologists keep striking at the same success rate, but all of a sudden we're paying like $10 a month for it? Like, because right now, hate for meteorologists, that's bipartisan. That reaches across the aisle because there's no accountability for these dudes and girls like getting it wrong all the time. But now all of a sudden you're taking that away for free and we got to pay for it. There's going to be a reckoning.
Jemele, good seeing you. Always.
I see. We see what at the heart of it. I feel like you're going to be out there campaigning now because now that you know about weather and porn,
I need to know. I need to know where the vice president stands on porn.
Welcome to the
I need her to
Yes.
I need the Where's the website where I can look up the platform, not the porn, the platform on porn.
It's Jemele Hill on YouTube. Thank you, Jemele. Catch up.
That's where
with
I
you.
can find it.
See, no.